Hello, hello. It's a slightly early stream today. I forgot I had something to do later this afternoon. It's, but I really needed to work on train stuff today, so stream's a bit early. So we have a slightly modified version of the Outpost. It does work about 20 to 30% better, just by having the waiting area. However, the inserter design is not particularly safe. There's a lot of measures to make this more compact, and they counteract every measure to make inserters safe. So we need to make it a few tiles taller and maybe wider. I'm not sure if it needs to be wider, but we need to at least make it 2 tiles taller. Uh, which we have the entire Roboport area to work with. So it looks like we could do up to like 6 maybe. But yeah, basically, it's so compact that inserters don't work, which is problematic. It works in individual tests, but during stress testing, it failed repeatedly. So we have to redesign that. And if I'm being completely honest, I don't have the best idea of how to fix it. So this is one option. It's a little bit messy, I will say, but I think it's one of the least likely ones to have problems. This is a similar version to our old design. However, it has red belt. So we can go with this one, which has no red belt, or we can go with this one, which has this one has no red belt, but it's pricier. This one uses red belt, but that also makes it less safe. I think either way, we're going to have to read from the belt directly in front of the inserter. With the way this is set up, there just isn't enough of a fuel buffer from here to here to make a safe inserter design that only reads from this belt. The only way that that works would be if we had a belt buffer of a couple hundred, at least a couple hundred, but realistically like a few hundred that can't go to the drills so it can buffer and react to shortages faster. I have no idea if this part's set up correctly. I feel like that's not. I don't know. Let's pull up the original. Make sure I didn't break something there. No, I didn't break anything there. That just doesn't really. That's just not balanced. I wonder if that's the problem. Was it balanced in the original? Because it was breaking in this one too. No, this one is perfectly balanced. This side. This side was never balanced. Okay. I wonder if that's why I didn't notice it much. Wait, that's the new design. I don't know if that side was ever balanced. Which one is it? This one? Okay, so technically this design was never balanced. Yeah, we're just making it wider. I don't care that much that it's compact. It's causing too many problems that are not fixable. So yeah, well, hope we don't break stuff, I guess is what it all boils down to. Hello, pleb. Welcome, welcome. That just sounds like I'm insulting someone. Dude, I don't know. Well, not... Is it... What does... It's just like, I think it used to be, like, lower class. Like, plebs and... What's the... What's the opposite? Patricians? Or something like that? But yeah, this needs to be wider. So, right now... We can also make it taller. So we need 2 more gaps here. So we'll cut this part. We'll shift it down. We'll cut this part. We'll shift it down. Let's see. Reading from the belt in front sounds safest. It is the safest. This one's still risky. Because it's grabbing from a corner, but we have enough that it's fine if we lose one every now and then. Oh yeah, we also have added one more inserter to this. But yeah, making it wider seems reasonable. Honestly, I don't mind if this isn't on the corner, so this one's fine, I think. Actually, no, it's not. Yeah, we're just destroying all of this. I'm going with my gut. The burner inserters are too finicky for clever designs. It just unfortunately doesn't work, which Should I just like redo everything then? I don't know if there's any part of this outpost that benefits if we're making it wider. Because like there's definitely a better design, right? Like we could have the waiting area here and they can both leave on the side instead. Hmm. Because we could have the waiting area here and then both trains are on this side. And then what does that how does that benefit us? I guess it doesn't really matter. So the issue, it's not the locomotives being curved. That's why I have to move this. The problem is that this doesn't have enough inserter space when the locomotive is curved. Um, so if you look here, this does not have access to 4 slots on the train because it's on a curve. I think that's true for all of them. Well, is that actually at the curve? Yeah, the issue is the locomotive being on the curve causes misalignment for all of the all of the wagons, which is fine because you can just stagger them. I don't think we can stagger this one though because it's on the curve. I don't know, we might be able to make it work. It's ugly, but then that doesn't actually work. I was gonna say it's ugly, but it works, but it actually doesn't. How many inserters is that? That's 11. Okay, so this possibly is fine. It's grabbing from the wrong side, so that actually makes it not fine. So never mind. I take it back. This is not fine. It deprioritizes the wrong side. Or prioritizes the wrong side. What's the issue? How does this, what's the prio of this one? Yeah, it's just a classic example of burner inserters garbage. Okay, what if we undo? Okay, so this one prioritizes the right side. This one, well, Cole's belt is on the left side. Okay, here. Okay, so that can be fixed by just well, actually, yeah, it's okay. It's got to prioritize solid fuel, so we have to do a flip. But it makes the alignment incredibly annoying, but it does technically work, so we can keep this. We can keep that. Um, okay, so let's not delete that. This one, not so much. So that means we need to make it wider this side, which that's actually, I don't know if we can extend it in that direction. We can't extend it in that direction. So we have to take all of this and shift. There's no room for the Roboport that way, though. I wonder if I still have my old design. Okay, if we're not trying to go compact, let's just try to fit it inside the Roboport. We need, on both sides of the base, we need something like this. Okay. And then we need a spot for the building train to stop, which should be somewhere in the middle on the shorter sides, which is going to be these ones. Just because it's more of a rectangle, it's a little bit taller than it is wide, although not by much, actually. Let's see, that is 53. This is 50. Yeah, it's like 3 tiles, so we can make either one work. We could have like a waiting area here. And then it branches off into both sides. And then, yeah, that doesn't work. I mean, it does work, but it uses up a ton of space. Could we have the waiting area like here? I can't figure out if there's anything we can salvage from this. I guess we can just, we can put the building train over here, can't we? No, that's too far. Well, no, we can't put the building train over there. Can these still be fueled? No, they can't. I don't know. I thought there was a little bit more building room on the left. Let's see where these stop. Yeah, no, that won't work. Is that how it's always looked? Yeah, it just looks weird because I deleted everything. Right? Yeah, it always loaded from an awkward corner. Yeah, okay, that's right. If we make it taller, can we make this park in a better spot? What I don't understand is why this curve is it the difference between like being an outside curve and an inside curve? Is that why they park in different spots? Can I move it higher up? No, I cannot. What if I delete this? No. Okay, that doesn't help. Farther down? No, that I don't know why that would help. Yeah, we can just make it farther down. Where do we go from here then? The Roboport location is not nearly as flexible as I would like. That's the problem. We can't like do an insert or chain or anything. We have to have it grabbed directly from the chest, otherwise the chest doesn't run. Which is bad. Like we can technically shift it over to the left. Like there are ways to shift it over to the left, I think, but those would destroy these. And that would also be bad. Unfortunately, yeah, this one's just not flexible. I mean, I could build another Roboport. Okay, so this curve isn't awful. This one we can work with. This one we can work with. This one, I don't know. We might be able to work with that. Let's see. Let's try to move this design over here. So we need 6 inserters. 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 6. That technically works. Okay, I mean, we can make that work, I think. That can fill the track, right? Yeah, okay. I don't like it, but the Roboport not being flexible complicates things a lot. It just has a lot less less room than I would have liked. Okay, we'll just make awful connections, I guess. That's the strat. So we delete all of this. The staggering is also annoying. I actually can't build this at all without having to train at the station, which isn't great. But that's what happens when you have when you're building on a curved rail. Every alignment point is ruined. Okay, so which one of these designs do we think is better? Oh, hold on. Yes, I was muted. Thank you. Um, yeah. Sorry, I had bumped the like physical mute button on my microphone whenever I try to shift it. But yeah, we're still doing outposts. I wasn't happy with how they looked. Every time I was angry at something, but no idea what. That's fair. Probably want to signal at the station for the train stations to be separate from the rest of the block. Yeah, I'm just trying to like copy over the signals that were already there. uh, so we would need one here. I don't love how this is shared, but I don't think that's really a problem. So we would need one here too. Actually, this would probably need to be a chain signal, right? Because I wouldn't want it to stop here ever. Maybe that's fine. Sad times, your mouse probably broke today. Oh no. What happened? That's not good. Can we shift this up? No, we can't. No, we cannot. Which reminds me, we're still possibly shifting things up. It randomly starts right-clicking. Oh no, that's not a good one. Mistake. Or not a good way to break it all. And it doesn't stop until you actually right-click. Oof. Oof. Okay, so this is slightly different logic because it converges a little bit in a different spot. But I feel it's like it's definitely fixable. I'm just trying to figure out which signals I'm missing. Chain signal for that outpost to leave. I think I did that right. Okay. And then this also is missing a chain signal. There we go. Okay, so this is one color. This section is one color. That's good. And then these are separate. This is one section. Okay, that should be good. Haven't rebooted the PC yet to see if it's a software error, but you doubt it. Yeah, stuff like that. It's hard for it to just be software. It's always like something just broke. Okay, we also need to redo the fuel balancing. Yeah, we need to redo the fuel balancing. I need to stop justifying things that don't work. It's just, yeah, it's a bad idea. Okay, so this is a decent idea, I think. This prioritizes this incorrectly, though, so that's annoying. So this doesn't work. This one works. This one doesn't. So we need to flip this if we want this to work. The tail end of the builder train is broken, and you can... And can a train still fit in the waiting section? It should still be able to fit in the waiting section. The waiting section I copied. Yeah, the waiting section was copied directly from the other one. So that one I wasn't too worried about. I don't know what you mean by tail end of the builder, though. Oh, you mean like these just not being set up? Yeah, we just need to realign some chests. We forgot a signal for that, I think. Right? Does it need a signal? It might need a signal, I'm not sure. Look at the curve on the old station. I'm not sure what you mean. Yeah, I don't follow. Doesn't seem wrong to me. Those boxes, we don't have them. Yeah, we do. They're here. Right? That's what you're talking about? These? Am I missing something? I mean, I haven't connected them, but not on the curve. Well, no, I extended it. This one's taller. Those boxes are here. That's what these are. Um, we shifted our building train up one train segment because it wasn't hand build friendly, which I didn't like. So we don't need them anymore. I see what you mean, I think. Okay, so now the fun part. The red is easier to do. It's a lot easier to do, and it's still pretty safe. Okay, I think we can do red, considering we do read the belt for every single tile. Which, by the way, this for just the train stations is gonna cost like 2% of our. Like I did some tests, it costs like one outpost almost in terms of performance just to do this. Like I think it's worth it, but yeah, it's a very significant overhead. It's like 10 times worse than doing it the other, or no, like 3 times worse than doing it how we would want to, but unfortunately how we want to doesn't exactly work with train stations. And how we want to is like reading from a unified belt instead of the belt in front of it. Well, we could do like this one, how this one does it. This one reads from like multiple points. But that's because it grabs from an underground. This one doesn't have to grab from an underground anywhere. But yeah, that just works so well. Well, we can use it. Okay, so that means we need fuel, copper, red belt. Everything is very annoyingly staggered. Don't think there's a way around that though, so we'll live with it. Okay, underbelt makes sense here, and then this connection. I think it might be easiest to actually just connect them all straight through, and then have one of them zig past all of them, right? Slightly more expensive, but not by much, and it makes life real easy. I do like that. Because the spacing for this is perfect. Yeah, the spacing for this is kind of perfect. So yeah, we just we take this and we shift it over there. I don't know. We probably shouldn't do that, but it makes it so pretty. So then this one goes here. And then it loops down. It's like that's an option. That is very much an option. We can actually shift this over, but that's fine. That far left belt is only half a belt anyway. So this far left one is supplemented along the other ones as we go. Yeah, this is the one I was referring to. But yeah, the way these work is they send part of their fuel, part of there to the others in like a deprioed way. So it gets side loaded like this as we go along. Actually, how do I make it work with the new one though? So it does something like this. And then we can replace that splitter with something over here. I don't know if that's a better idea, but it's an option. We could also side balance it and do like some kind of splitter setup, but I think that's too expensive in terms of splitters. I also need to keep, let's see, 33. So we need to keep our inserter count and underground count around this number. Oh, we can't go much higher than that. Okay. But this so far is good. Technically, I can fit an 11th inserter on the corner, but it's almost never going to run, so I don't think it's worth it. But it is technically an option. It might increase safety by a little bit. But so far that works. I don't really know how I want to balance these. So in our old outpost over here, I sent half of it down, half of it up, and then connected from the both sides. Which did work, but it was a little imbalanced, but it was better than not having it at all. Can the belt delay going from left to right being an issue because it could delay the first loading of the train? Don't worry. You don't need to worry about that. The first loading of the train doesn't happen until like 4 trains have already moved. So it's fine. It takes like 20 minutes. It takes like 20 to 30 minutes to start stuff with burner drills. So belt delay is not an issue. It is a fair concern, but our inserters are so bad we don't have to worry about that part, which is kind of nice, I guess. Okay, and then this was the other thing that I wanted to change. I think from a safety standpoint, it doesn't make sense to mine stuff with fuel from the other one, but since we're reading from every belt, I think it's okay. So we should have this, this, and this from one train. So that should be fine. But yeah, I had some issues with starting outposts where we would get fuel on this belt activating all of these, but we would have ore from the other side, so the fuel wasn't distributed perfectly. It only is an issue with our old trigger, I guess we could call it. I don't know what this is. Oh, this was that supplemental. That supplemental copper belt is harder to fit in than I thought it would be. I guess we still have some wiggle room to make the base taller if we need. Like, we can just shift this whole thing up 2 tiles if we can't fit it. But since I'm pretty happy with this design now, I think we can make it work. This should take a tighter curve. That helps a lot. That goes under. These can all be under belts now. Actually, it could probably start here. Yeah, you can sideload onto that, right? I'm actually not confident in that statement. Burners are weird. It does look like it's working. Okay. I was worried it wasn't able to output on the other side because the one side because it's blocked, but that's not how normal drills work. But it could have been how burner drills worked because burners are weird. That's really the moral of the story most of the time. Yeah, I don't know how none of this is lining up, but that's fine. Okay, we did not copy the fuel lane, I'm realizing. That's all right though. We'll just do it manually, and then we'll do this one manually. A little bit more manual than I wanted, but not really a problem. Oh, fuel doesn't go that far. We were literally just talking about that. That's why I hadn't copied it. Silly me. Okay, so this goes here, this goes straight down. Awesome. And then this has a splitter that goes here, and it prioritizes to the left. Okay, that should be good. And then the other fuel is powered from the other side, which, because it's been flipped, is a little bit annoying, but I don't think it's terrible because we have this tile. So really the only thing we have to figure out now, well, we have to reconnect this. Okay, that looks like it has this kind of pattern, which is workable. Okay. What is our belt count up to? 423. That's not terrible. As long as we're under 450, we're good. If we're up to 500, it's fine. It's not the end of the world, but that means we have to change our building train because our building train is only can hold 5 stacks, but that's all right. We can make that work. Okay, so we prioritize towards these because they're self-fueling. Yeah, that tracks. The one, we don't have anything grabbing from the corner anymore, which is good. That's what we want. Okay, so yeah, we need to supplement this. I think I see a way to do it really easily. It will be slightly prioritized. Damn it, I actually don't want it prioritized. Actually, no, it won't be prioritized. It's prioritized over this half, but not over this half, so I think it's okay. We'll see. But basically, the idea is that we just sideload here, and then we go up. And then voila, it should be, it's on the wrong side of the belt, but aside from that, the idea is there. And then I think we decided we needed to go both ways, right? So that should actually stop 1, 2, 3, and then we should switch to the other side and have them come from here. And flip it. Exact same concept, although this is slightly different priority, which I don't love. Not the end of the world, but it is a different priority. So this should have 23, so let's do 12. Is this 12? No, that's 13. Okay, so we'll do 12 on one half, and then that means the other one has 13. So this should have 13 as well then. Okay, so that is 13. Good. And then once again, it's on the wrong side, which is workable. Okay. Yeah, I like how that perfectly is just the wrong way every time. Okay, so that I think gives a little bit more balanced of a distribution than sideloading all of this on one half and all of this on the other. It's not a big difference, but it definitely is there. If we really wanted to make it super balanced, we could grab from both. But I think we're already getting close to how many inserters I want to have. Okay, that doesn't make sense. That has to be a really old design. Oh, that doesn't have the inserters in it. Okay, or that doesn't have splitters yet. I was like, how the heck does the original design have 0 splitters? Okay, so we can scrap all of these now because we're pretty happy with this setup. Is there a better way to distribute this? Inserters would be the best way, but we obviously can't do that. I don't think there's really a better way. Turn the left and right belts into whole belts and send one each way. Could you elaborate? I don't follow. Do you mean like recombine them, or do you mean just like shift the outpost? Actually, can we shift the outpost? Would that be better? It might be. Well, I don't know if that fits, but it might be better to try to make them line up. Oh, the reason we went with this is because it's cheaper in terms of undergrounds and belt, or the entity cost is, the underground cost is lower. The whole thing isn't lower. But are you suggesting I do this instead? Because that is possible. That is something we can do. So since they're half belts, you can have them sideload onto the other side of the other's half belt. Oh, you mean like if they're... Ooh. You mean like if there's extra? So I have one going up, one going down, and if it makes it all the way through, it goes up and sideloads up here? Is that the idea? So I stick with this. That's not the idea. Oh. Well then, never mind. Although I kind of like that idea. I know it wasn't the idea, but I wonder if it would work. Okay, then I don't know what your idea is. Have them sideload onto the other side of the other's half belts. We have to combine them at some point. So what I'm missing is when they should combine. How many splitters does this use? 22. Okay, that's not awful. So we'll use 40 total with this setup. They combine roughly at the middle lane. So are you saying I keep this going that way? And then like send the extra that way? No, that can't be right. That's a lot of belt. That's definitely not right. When you say additional whole lane, though, it's not like an additional whole lane, right? It's the ability to fill up a lane, but it's really only using half. So it would be up to a whole lane. I don't love how this is side-loaded, though. The balancing complicates things. I could avoid the side load and do the side load later. That would work. And then side load here. Something like that. I wonder if it would just be best to just rebalance them completely. How much does a compressor cost? A lot of space, actually. Never mind, that's a silly question. I was gonna say how easily would it be for me to just compress the lanes over by one? Actually, wait a minute. Is that awful? Maybe it's not awful. Hold on. Hold on, we have to toy with the idea of just having a compressor. Um, uh, you think a whole lane would be better than two lanes? The biggest thing would be if I can balance it to the other sides, but it can't get more than the biggest thing is like how I can balance the side loading. A whole lane would be better in the instance where I can if I can use a splitter. Otherwise, if I'm using this kind of setup though to distribute it, it doesn't matter if it's a half lane or a whole lane. So this could work, right? Conceptually. This might increase the cost too much, but I think it does what I want. It uses the same amount of splitters, which is nice. So in this case, a whole lane would be better. But the idea here is that we can now shift any side over. I'm realizing now this doesn't fit because we have fuel, so we would need 2 extra tiles. How much does this add? This would add that times 7, so it would add like 140 belts. But yeah, in a case where I do something like this, a whole lane is actually pretty useful. It's a shame that these are obviously going to prioritize like the inner lane, and we can't really do a balancer, but I guess considering it's just supplementing lanes that are short, it's probably fine. It really is easy to move this up 2 tiles, though. If this idea works well, it should be okay. What does this cost? This costs 732 belts, 228 tracks, 33 splitters, and 417 underbelts. So this would probably require like 800 belts. Some similar amount of splitters, probably like 5 more splitters. But yeah, I think we just do this, and then we delete this. We delete this, we delete this, and then we paste it 2 tiles higher. And the world is simpler now. Okay. Oh, hold on. I'm remembering now why I don't stream at this time. There's a lot of interruptions if I stream before 1, which is why I don't. Or part of why I don't. I mean, it's workable, but yeah, it's annoying. Anyway, we shifted this up a little bit. So now we can send a whole lane. Slightly weird priorities on them, but it's technically a whole lane, so that's what matters. Right? Technically works as a goal. I wish that would reach. We'll probably have to well, if we're doing this, we're probably gonna shift these to be a whole lane together. Oh wait, what does that increase? It increases the underground cost, right? It would increase the underground cost by about this much. 24 undergrounds. But it decreases the belt cost by about 50, which is obviously more expensive, but fewer entities, which is nice. Actually, wait, does it? What does it save? I don't know what it saves. Maybe it just saves space. Oh, well, let's get this connected and test it before we actually start shifting it. No, you know what? It doesn't actually benefit us to have them converge into one lane. We should just send it to the other side if there's extra. That's better. We can just do this. Okay. That makes it possibly not mine, so we should do a side load. Although I don't think that matters much. It might matter a little bit. Of course, none of these that we just built connect, but that's okay. We just need to shift them all down one tile. Okay, so this is a little bit more costly than I thought it would be. The more that I build it, the pricier it becomes, but we can probably make it work. And then this would go here. Let's see. You think it would help to put the supplement going from right to left, but in that case you have to 90 the prio splitter and probably lose the vertical alignment by 2 tiles. So you think I should rotate it like that somehow? Is that the idea? Because that's totally viable. Actually, wait. There's no real reason for us to line these up like this. Going from right to left and on the red belt directly. Okay, now you've lost me. Okay, going on the red belt directly, you've lost me completely. Do you just mean like shifted down? Oh, right to left. Oh, okay. I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Go the other way. Um, can we shift the outpost? Not really. I'm trying to figure out how we make it go from right to left. There's probably a way. Actually, you know what? We're gonna make a duplicate just in case we can't make it work. Right. This isn't supposed to be able to fit all the drills. That's why I have the supplement. If anyone's wondering. But this is too big. This is too big for like a normal patch. It doesn't work as intended because underground is lining with the solid fuel. Well, we could do this. No, we can't. Never mind. I see what you mean. The underground would be here. So we would instead have to do this, which... Is that cheaper, though? It still might be cheaper. So it would be here? And then another one would be here. Oof. Okay, never mind. I don't think it's cheaper. I don't think it's cheaper. That adds 7, 12. This is 12. Okay, it's exactly the same cost. Exactly the same cost. It just looks a little, it just kind of looks a little nicer, maybe? There might be a way to compact this. I feel like there's a way to compact it. I just don't know what it is. Because I don't like how this has to have an underground. Well, you know what? We'll see. If the side lanes are just supplemental when the count's low, then keep them as half health. Yeah, that's their purpose. We aren't reasonably going to get a hunt. Without them, we don't get 300 drills per patch on average. With them, we do. That's their purpose. We can move the station to the right 2 tiles, or underground will align. Um, yeah, we can. No, actually, can we do that? I don't think it aligns right. Because this is an odd number and it shifts by an even number. Left. Oh, left doesn't work. Left doesn't work. Um, the whole reason we're redesigning this is to remove the weirdness of stuff grabbing from corners, which kills inserters. Because you can't do any safety logic if they're grabbing from a corner. So we can't shift it left, unfortunately. There's no wiggle room that way. We have tried. It's basically, it is to the tile at the edge of the underground. Or at the edge of the Robofort. I wonder if there's a denser way to do this. There might be. Hold up. Maybe not. Maybe not. I think we just have to accept it. Just accept that it's got to be slightly taller than I want. We just need something to work. So we can stress test it. That doesn't exist. This gets a side balancer at the end. And then voila. And voila. Okay. Prio to the left, prio to the left, prio to the left, prio to the left, prio to the left. All the excess eventually makes its way to the right and goes here, which can then be side loaded. And then we can do another balancer at the end. Now, I really hope this works in reverse. It might not work in reverse. I don't know. Guess we'll try connections and see how it works. Okay, and then this one is a normal alignment. We just need to remove the rails. Yeah, this doesn't have any weirdness. So where the arrows point, Wait, what? Yeah, where the arrows point, we can assume there is in fact a drill. Perfect. Yeah, I don't think this aligns. That's okay. We might need to make this one taller. I think we need to make this one taller. It's a little bit weird. I feel like realistically I should do the side load earlier, right? Like here. It's fine. The earlier side load only matters depending on where the balancer is. And if this is full, I think we're good. So yeah, I shouldn't have to worry about that. Never mind. Okay, so fuel technically makes its way through. And then we can obviously remove this splitter once we're done, but for pattern's sake, for pattern's sake, I'm gonna keep it. One of these is not connected yet. Probably the one on the end that we messed with. Because we had a clever design, and then I realized it wasn't so clever and didn't actually work. So let's just ignore that. Okay, now it's connected again. Wait, this one doesn't get a supplement. So this one should actually just connect weirdly with like a splitter here. And then the rest can go that way, right? I think that makes the most sense. Then we output prio. Input prio is actually from the right though. Although I don't think the input prio matters. Yeah, I doubt the input prio matters there. Okay, I think so far so good. I don't think we've shifted this down yet. That's an easy thing to do. Let's see. How can I count it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that one's 8. This one is 10. So that means we have not shifted it yet. So it should just go down 1. Then this can go down 1. This can go up 1. And over 1. There we go. Think that's good? Oh, aside from the fact that we broke it. But other than that, it's good. Yeah, other than the fact that it doesn't work at all, it's great. Okay, and then we'll do weirdness with unloading those later. So this ore is coming from, or coal's coming from this side. If we want to keep the same pattern, it looks like this, and then underground. So let's do all of the coal stuff first. Yeah, we'll do the undergrounds later, I think. Okay, so coal does in fact come from this side, so that part's good. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the 7th, so this is solid fuel. We might actually be able to shift this one farther to the left. This one does have some flexibility, because this can grab from the corner. It's not the end of the world if that happens. But right now it's here. If we shift it here... Yeah, if we shift it there, we're in for a better time. Because now we should be able to... Oh, come on. Can we shift it again? Now does it line up? Okay, let's see. So this would be here, right? Wait, what? Why did that work? And then this would be here. I did not mean to shift this, though. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, at least we were able to make it work for this one by shifting it to the left, because this one just has a slightly straighter rail, I guess. I don't get why this one was able to. Is this a sharper turn somehow? Is that the problem? Why wasn't I able to shift this one back? Oh wait, we can shift it back, but it's already lined up. That's the problem. I think we can't shift it back enough. Yeah, we can only shift this. Okay. Is it just because of the direction of the curve? I feel like the stagger doesn't really make sense to me, but obviously obviously it doesn't work. Well, not obviously, maybe I'm missing something. Okay, and now we can keep the same logic, although this one's coming from the left for the prio. So I think we can just like rotate this, right? Maybe? It's a little bit weird. But I mean, I think that technically works. Wait, maybe we can do this. We might be able to do this. I don't know if that's better. Yeah, I don't know if that's necessarily better, but it is something we can technically do. It does feel a little bit more compact. I should probably make sure these connect though before I start assuming it actually works. Yeah, this is our main goal for the day. It's going to be a shorter stream because we started earlier. Well, because I have something in the afternoon. Otherwise, I would have just started later. I feel like this one actually does work with. I don't know. Is this better? Oh, I think that's better. Okay, I think that's good. Yeah, okay. I think this alignment works. And then we need to delete this, and that one's good. Okay, so now we should just be able to like slide them to the left. Awesome. Happy with that. I feel like I messed up something. This was supposed to connect over there, so this doesn't actually. Yeah, that didn't work exactly how I thought it would. Is that fine? You know, yeah. Let's just connect it all. See how it works. Maybe it's fine. Okay, now these all connect, so we don't have like a weird connection. I guess we have a lot of things we can underground here though, which is nice. And then this one is the one that goes down. Do you prefer a text file with a blueprint string or an imager link? Um, Factorio bin's pretty good for sharing. Use this. Text file also works if you're in the Discord. I believe Factorio bin should be whitelisted though. This feels real expensive. Then this needs a side load here and here. Okay, I don't know. This feels expensive, but I really think it's not nearly as pricey as it looks because the other design was also not particularly cheap. And then this connects. I like how I have a loop. This might be terrible for performance. I don't know. We do literally all of these are connected now. I don't know if that's a bad thing. Four, five, six, seven. Okay, now the fun part. Because that wasn't the fun part. How do we empty this? Is that grabbing from it? No, it is not. Okay. Wait, can it not grab from it ever? I guess it can't. Okay. Oh, I see what you mean. So you just wanted to like sideload earlier. I might actually do that. Because I was thinking that here it would make more sense for the sideload to be in the middle. Although I think we'll do it with a splitter. It's in the wrong spot. Because I think with the splitter, it gives it the option to not flip it. Don't know if that's helpful. But yeah, that might actually be helpful because it will do 50-50. If we do like a full-on side balancer, that would probably be ideal. Okay, so now that I have the undergrounds, it doesn't really look that much messier than the other side. Don't need a splitter, just need belts. Well, the reason we would use a splitter is it makes it that it's not a forced side load. So if there is stuff from the other side, because with my setup, there potentially is a loop. With it just being localized like that, yeah, it doesn't need a splitter at all. It's just with this setup, it actually can loop it. So this side can support this side because it only costs a few extra belts, like 10 extra belts to do the full loop. And in this case, we might want the ability to not force it all to one side. So these can keep mining. It might also make sense to have, or the other option is to do this and then do a side balancer at the end. And then this would have to be in the middle. Yeah, I guess we can play around with that. Because then this is the other option. And then it does a 50-50. It doesn't actually do a 50-50 this way. That does a 50-50. And this does a 50-50. Okay. I think technically that works. Now I need to figure out how to unload from these. The other way was very nice. I did like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, like is a strong word. It was cool. I don't think we have the same curve though, so I don't think that exact pattern works. What's weird is that normally if you can't place it any closer, it means it can grab from it. But this doesn't look like it can. I think this should be aligned to the station. I hope it's aligned to the station. Oh, okay, there's the sixth one. Interesting. So we need 3 chests. And that's mostly it, actually. We really just need 3 chests. We have not done fuel. We didn't leave space for fuel. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We're good. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one only gets 5. What the heck? What? Interesting. Okay, I mean, I guess it's not the end of the world. Like, we don't consume as much solid fuel as the rest of it, so I can probably make do with this. I think I want these to be side balanced. Or I think I want them to side balance together. That would be, what is this pattern? That doesn't work. We could do this. And then do like a splitter. That doesn't really work either. Because then we don't have any way to get to that. Oh, geez. Okay. I really thought this part would be better. Okay, so we really have to choose. Do we want this part to be messy, or do we want this part to be slightly messier? I think I should probably go with that part being slightly messier, right? It makes it so much easier. So that means this would shift forward here, maybe even here. Let's copy it though, just in case. I wonder if there's any way to delete the trails that isn't like as particular. Or sorry, wagons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So then these all get shifted over. I need to see how the alignment actually works with the ore. This might actually be fine. So this would connect here. It's not great. Actually, no, this has the same alignment as the other one now, where we just pass this one through to the other side and then everything's good. Maybe that does work. Actually, is it exactly the same? It might be exactly the same. It is not exactly the same. I don't know why it's not exactly the same, but it's not exactly the same. But that might, I think that works. I think that's fine. And then this is the other sides. Like that? That's not awful. This might work. I like how my standards with burners are just, that's not awful. Because that's really the only standard you can really have. If you have it any higher, you will be thoroughly disappointed. Okay. So far, so good. I like that connection all right. And then allows me to do a much more normal connection here. Even if I might not necessarily be able to get all 7, but at least they're straight. That sounds... That does... I feel like you can't say that in 2022. I was just almost said 2020. Okay, so this goes up, right? And now this is just normally side-loaded. Awesome. And that goes for this one as well. And then we do chest, chest, output, output. And there we go. And now this part I am unsure of. This part I am very unsure of. I think we just have to accept that the first one is going to look something like that, and then the rest of them look okay. I think we can live with that. Okay, so that's good. That gives me whole belt. Actually, I don't know what side this drops on. We have to check real quick. Okay, it drops on the correct side. So this does work. A little bit ugly, but you know what isn't. And then this is the one where this goes all the way to the left, right? So we want to copy this pattern. And we pass it through here. That goes like that, and then this goes down. That connects there, which now does not, it missed the first one. Whoops. That works. It's a slightly different pattern than the rest of it, but that's okay. We've already established it works and it's fine. So now the one thing we're missing is the ability to actually get fuel to the lanes, which one could argue is pretty important. Which half did I already get? I got the left half, so this fuel needs to go over here, okay. I think this works, right? Yeah, this works. Then it continues through. Okay, I think we got it work. Should we switch input prio on rightmost splitter then? Maybe? Did I mess it up? Oh, yes, input prio part. Yes, thank you. I should. Looks good now. Output, input. Okay, yes, good catch. And then this is the one that goes straight through. This goes under. Can we copy this now? Is this a pattern? Ooh, it is. Okay, cool. Okay, so that part's good. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Huh. I did not realize there's only 5 lanes. Wait, what? Oh, there's only 5 shared fueling lanes because I put the other ones on the edges. That's why. Okay, that makes sense. Forgot about some of the weirdness I did. I wonder if it would be worth staggering these inwards. Well, let's look at the cost now that we have it all built. I don't understand how we use less belt. We must be missing something. Well, we haven't fully connected it. Maybe it's because I don't have either of those built. That might be it. Let's see if this is easy to get out. We need a train there so we can actually see what's happening. Okay, because otherwise we can't tell if it's going to take for the train or not. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is that weirdness, but this one has more space to work with, so it's not as big of a deal. The other one was kind of tight for some reason. So I think it's fine that this one has a weird chest setup. And I feel like I should do the back ones as chests. I don't know why. Actually, no. Because I'm looping it to the left. I don't think looping is the right word there, but I'm sending it to the left. This goes here, and then it goes down. We send one to the left. We output prio towards the inserters. Bottom is tight because it was curving into the workspace. Ah, I see what you mean. Yeah, because we lost the inside corner instead of the outside corner. That tracks. This is a weird balance, but it might work. Let's see. All of those are on different sides. Can I rotate that? No, I can't. Okay. 446 and 674. I really don't know how we use fewer regular belts. I think maybe we did some more entity savings on this one than the other one. Yeah, looking at that, we did some horizontal belts over there. We haven't fully entity saved that one. Let's look at this one. This was the compact version. That's what we should be comparing it to. Or the original. 413. Okay, so we're still under 450. 674, 687. Okay, so we don't increase the stack size of anything. We somehow have the exact same inserter count, which I think is fun. We somehow save a signal, which concerns me. Doesn't necessarily mean it works. Could be broken. But yeah, this is awful. Okay, this is gonna output on the... This is my okay. We should fuel one more with it, yeah. Good catch. Yeah, that's a good way to shift the balance. I think that's right. So this fuels 2.5. This one fuels 3.5. Yeah, that seems good to me. We put the belt in the wrong spot, but other than that, it works. Okay, and now we just need to get this fuel over here, which it is deprioritized. But I think that's fine. So that goes there, and then this one can just go up here, I think. And then it's fine. Yeah, we don't need the ability to output more than one belt, right? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so hopefully that works. Now let's save this. Wagon rebalance. Okay, so one thing I am concerned about with right now is the building train. Because right now, the building train doesn't technically disable the outpost. Actually, wait, why do I care about that? I have to manually activate trains. Actually, wait a minute. If the building train is parked, no train can get here, so this does still work. So the building train, let's make sure I actually was correct when I was saying we didn't need it on the curve. Yeah, okay, we are good. I was pretty sure we didn't. But yeah, good thing we double checked. Okay, so this is much more hand build friendly now. Um, much more hand build friendly. It doesn't have any like weird curves, and I know exactly where I need to go to. Should probably prio to the bottom again. That first fuel splitter bottom isn't fueling all of the inserters. That was supposed to have a prio, thank you. Bottom left, underground for fuel is 5 long. I swear I noticed that and fixed it, but I think I went the wrong direction. And instead of shifting the belt, I just deleted it. Because I swear I fixed that. Okay, thank you. And then these can be rotated, although realistically that doesn't actually matter. Wait, wait. We have to check for inside loop. Damn it. None of this works. Copper's on the wrong side on the bottom. I forgot the side matters very significantly. Is it correct over here? Yes, it is correct over here. Yeah, this doesn't work. How hard is that to fix? We'll be wasting some underbelts, but I guess it's not awful. But yeah, with inserters, the way the wagons work, they can fill the wagon with solid fuel and coal. So the problem with that, how do I? Is there any way for me to fix this? I could do a state. No, it's too late to do a staging station. But yeah, they fill the train with copper and solid fuel, which means if copper is on the far side, they're going to prioritize solid fuel and then get locked up. So you have to make sure copper is on the close side, otherwise it doesn't work. It's really not a huge problem, but it is one I just completely forgot about when it came to it, which is unfortunate. So we have to do coal, probably something like this for fuel. Which isn't, like I said, isn't awful. I just forgot about it. Oh, that doesn't have a side load yet, but that's okay. We're about to add that. Yeah, minor oversight. Everything's good though. So now this changes where this priority lies. It doesn't change this at all, so we'll ignore that. Let's leave the fuel so we don't forget about it. Because I will forget about it. We'll add prios later. I must not forget that. Actually, I can just do that now. It doesn't complicate things. I don't think. Okay, so now this needs to go. Okay, so this part's easy. This part's gonna be awful. That part's gonna suck. Okay, so now it might be worth doing it like from the side, like you suggested. Although it does send it the wrong way. Maybe I can go this way. And then we loop this one around. Okay, let's not test it on the one that isn't flexible. That's stupid. Okay, so something like this could work. What? Oh, that's the one that did. That's the one that isn't flexible, right? Okay, let's see if that works better. So we would have input priority from the bottom, output priority from the bottom. Okay, that works well. Okay, and then it sends the other stuff straight. So far, so good. This part's awful. We'll figure it out, but it's awful. We just have to break the pattern, so we're just gonna not focus on that for now. And then this one is here, which this one doesn't line up the same because this is a supplemental lane coming from this side, and then this goes here. Okay, that works. So far, that's good. Okay, so now this goes forward, this goes forward, this goes forward, this goes forward. This goes forward. This is an absolute mess, but it does work. So the only thing we're missing is the edge handling. because of this annoyance. So we can either handle coal differently or we can handle the ore differently. Let's see, which one's easiest? I think we can do this. And then we send this up. Then we send it over. Then we send it down, under, and output prio. Which one's the input? Input prio still on the bottom. Okay, I think that does it. And then we force the side load over here. Okay, this might cause too many undergrounds. That's really annoying. Okay, we need to recover 5 of those. The ones that are just entity savings. Okay, that's better. Yeah, well, actually, does it matter? I don't think it matters. It means I have to slightly change my train. But the train isn't, like, full. I forgot this isn't our main outpost train. We're not, like, absolutely stuffing the train full of inserters. Like, it has some wiggle room, so entity savings is worth it when they're full drag like that. I can always recover some belts if I'm really desperate for it by just, like, placing this manually or something. Actually, no, that's silly. Can cut a splitter and underground at the rightmost falcon. Yes, we can. Thank you. I was leaving it just in case I realized I was wrong again. Okay, I think we got everything. This is good. This is good. Output prio, good. I really, really don't like that this is what our logic has to look like, but I mean, it happens. We don't need the trains. We do need the train stop names, though, which is mining outpost. And I believe mining outpost filling, which is not in that blueprint. Is it in this blueprint? Mining outpost building. There we go. Okay, so now in the moment of truth, we have to hope that we didn't screw up. Which one should we test with? Copper? I guess we can test with copper. Does that connect? I don't think that connects. There we go. Okay, so they should all be disabled. So we'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of this. This should still tell it that it can't send a train, right? That's the ideal situation. Nope. We messed that up. Okay. This one is somehow non-blocking. Oh wait, that's the iron lane. Okay, I was really confused how that happened, so it's all good now. This is problematic, but I think it's because we were doing a lot of tests where we had the train disabled, so it was still running even though it couldn't actually run. So that should be fine. I don't think that's an actual problem. But we did some permanent damage to some things during tests. Okay, and then we do need the ability to load a train right now. So let's do... I don't think we can rotate it diagonally, so I really shouldn't have done it that far away. Wait, I can't place a chain signal here? What? Okay, that means I messed up. Solid fuel blockage to the adjacent wagon. In this one? Oh, you mean here? Yeah, we need to change this, but we have to change this in our main base. So this should not read from the belts like that. That's silly. I've been meaning to remove that for a while. This should read from the chests. There isn't a long enough stretch of a belt to read from that. So solid fuel should be less than like 1,000 between all of the chests, I think, or it disables them. Actually, they can read separately too. No, this is an infinity chest problem. Not entirely. The issue is it starts to break once the trains start making like full loops because the internal buffer of this belt is less than this. It's less than what is spent like every wagon during the unloading process. Um, Infinity chests do break it more, but the infinity chest hasn't been in this outpost for a long time. Then it needs an overflow output. All we have to do is this works. We just need to increase the buffer, so that's what this does. The other option is making it like do some kind of loop and going back into the main base and having a buffer like here instead. But we don't necessarily have that much space. I forgot I added a bunch of these. Just added a bunch of inserters that don't exist. Yeah, these should fill pretty evenly. We don't want it to send more fuel unless it's empty. I think I did it the wrong way though. Oh, we need to change the value based on how much are in these chests though. Yeah, we'll need to figure some stuff out with the chest values. Maybe make it 2,000 or something. 2,000. We basically want at least 8 inserters to run at all times, right? So 8 chests, it should be the minimum. So that's 4,000. Or we decrease the value and make it only buffer 1 chest at a time. Also an option. I don't like that though. I think we do 4,000. 4,000. So this is just saying if 2 chests are empty, then you bring supplemental fuel. Okay, that should work. There might be another way to do that, like having a buffer chest somewhere else. But yeah, there are some it's situations like this where there's no train at the station, so there's nothing to disable the chest from filling up, and then another train comes in that hasn't mined much. That's what causes it to break, and the break is fairly permanent. It does eventually clear itself out, but you do lose like 10 to 20 minutes of production, which is not great. This is not set up properly, I don't think. Actually, it might be set up properly. We do have that building train. I don't know why I can't put signals on this, though. Or couldn't put signals on. Well, now I don't know. Now I don't know anything. Okay. And then we can do train backups. This is a copper train. Never mind. We can send that to mining outpost. And then that gives us 3 trains. No, that's 6 trains. Nope, that's iron. That gives us 0 trains. Okay. I don't know why I keep forgetting to put this. There we go. Mining train copper. Mining base and mining base. Cargo equals 2,000. That's not what it should be. That's not what it should be. It should be ore. Right? It should be greater than equal to. Not. It should be greater than equal to. Well. Yeah. Yeah, it should always have at least 2,000. Oh, that's going to be annoying to fix. We have to do that 40 times. Yeah, whatever. We'll figure it out. I'll make a note of that, though. I have a note of something else I wanted to do. Oh, yeah, I need to increase the inserter count on the unloader. Well, inserters at base. I'm slightly in front of the mic right now, so I probably sound muffled. Greater than equal to... Because we can't copy any of this stuff back into the base. We just have to do it manually. 50 times 4 plus 100, you think, per other wagon? Well, we don't want any value in the chest, right? Like, we don't want to require what's in the other wagons. We want at least 2,000, but we might have 2,050, we might have 2,100. We don't care if this fully empties. That doesn't change anything. So having it require exactly 2,000 means this can become not filled, but then this one can be empty, or those could be full, and it will leave. But I don't want it to leave whenever this has... I want it to be able to leave with fuel still inside of it, basically. Because ideally we don't recycle coal. We don't want to do that. Or sorry, recycle solid fuel. Okay, so these do take a while to start. That part's not news. I don't know how these got fuel. That's a ton of inserters on the top side of the bottom station. Just ignore that. Just ignore that. I was doing some tests with stack inserters. I wanted to see if inserter throughput affected how much I produced, because there was a possibility that my stations were taking too long to load and unload. So to be really lazy, I just gave them fast inserters and like dragged the mouse really quickly. And then I downgraded them to burner inserters to give it the actual value again, and have not fixed it. These aren't really side balanced, but I guess that's fine. Wait, does this not make it up there? No, it does. I'm reading from the wrong chests. There we go. I fixed it. Yeah, so those don't need to output because it wasn't an inserter. It wasn't an inserter problem. It's only designed to have 10 on each outpost. I might add more later, but we can't change it here. We have to change it in our main base. So unless it's like a performance test thing, this is gonna have a lot of errors in it in terms of like inserter placements. But yeah, see this, even in this situation, this is technically only bringing 1,800 solid fuel because it has some in there. So even greater than equal to doesn't perfectly fix it. It just makes it that it can leave early. Okay, I think we've watched it at vanilla speed long enough. In an ideal world, it eventually starts... I forgot. I've been watching it at 2 times speed, so it feels a lot slower than it is. I am well aware that these take like 30 minutes to start. Any build would take that. It would start a little bit faster with belts coming from the outpost, but not significantly. But I like this. This waiting train has actually helped a lot. It increases our average production, or it should increase our average production. Yeah, you can see it here. We'll let it run for a little bit. But this is the old design. This is the redesign. So that waiting station makes the outpost of makes the difference of an out. I guess it's not 25%. Like 10%, something like that. But yeah, it increases the amount of iron we get by like 10% on average. So we've just been comparing 2 very similarly distanced outposts together. One of them has a waiting station, one of them does not. And you can see with iron, you have peaks as low as 4,000 ore being produced at a time because they stayed backed up for so long. Whereas the copper, which is the blue one, I wish they were swapped, it would be easier. But yeah, the blue one only dips to like 6,000, so they only back up for they don't really back up for that long. Now we need to see if these are actually looking balanced. I mean, it seems pretty good. I do see some extra copper going to the right, which I like. Let's see if they fill even. Let's pause it. That's even with this, they still kind of fill unevenly. It did technically fill though. Wait, do we have stack size? Yes, we do have stack size in this one. But yeah, you can see that even with like the recycle loop, it's a little bit finicky. Fills one's it's going to prioritize this side over this side. What we could do is we could split it. If we wanted it to be more balanced, we could split this and send half of it to the middle, and then they'll reconnect later. That would give it a little bit more even, and a little bit more even of a filling. This is not hooked up. That explains why the number is lower. That might have been the issue, which means there's another issue. Or might be another issue. Actually, I don't... that might not have caused a problem. It's hard to say. Does that mean that's missing on this side too? No, these seem good. Yeah, it's probably fine. There's only really a couple lanes where it really matters. Okay, it seems to be a lot better now, though. Because it was kind of struggling. You had a question, but you forgot. Fair enough. I mean, it is like exactly 175 seconds. I wonder if I should increase the timer wait, though. Did you stream yesterday? Yes. Yes, I did. I had to check what day of the week it was. Is it testing? So right now, we are doing some stress testing on the outpost before we, actually finalize our base. We had to make some improvements. It should be better now, which means this might also bump up to like 6.97K. I really wish burner inserters were not so terrible. This is backed up. You know, the other design we had, the one that didn't use red belt, is actually just better. Like, this design is better. It's more expensive. It's more entities, but it is a lot better. To 180 to be a little safe. How much mining productivity? So this is like best case scenario. So yeah, we should probably increase it. Just increase the game speed. So true. But yeah, we'll probably add a little bit to the timer. But on the other hand, whenever these aren't filling at all, I don't really want these to be holding up the train, which is why I have it set like that. Because the unbalancers are balanced. Or the unloaders are balanced, the input aren't. If I empty this, I could actually look at the end. Actually, wait, with the maximum, I guess it's not fine. How do you power all of them? We ship in solid fuel on the same train that we unload. It's produced in chemical plants locally at each of the, or not locally, but in the main base. We just have a large array of chemical plants. Now let's see what our average program. 6.8. I mean, we improved it by 500 ore per minute. That's a very significant improvement. And this is pretty much testing worst case scenario. Why is that empty? Does that empty unevenly? Oh wait, that's the one that I manually emptied, isn't it? These should be unbalanced. Or they should be unloading in a balanced way. Is the balancer broken? I guess each side isn't. See, depending on mining productivity, we might start one tier lower, so a time between that time required and 175 would probably be ideal. The issue is it's a maximum time we can wait. So the real question... The real question is, would I rather have it leave and waste like 5% train cargo, or would I rather have it leave late every time? Hmm. I don't know. That's hard to say. Each belt has fuel on it for inserters. So the train itself recycles fuel on it for the inserters. They only run if there's fuel on the belt in front of it. That's what this logic is. Absolutely terrible for performance. I hate it, but it is something we can technically cut once we're waiting. We can technically run around and cut that later if we really want to. I think that would help with performance. Maybe, I don't know. Bots don't really like that when you tell them to do a billion things, but that's like a post-run problem, basically. And then they get the fuel from the train wagon to unload themselves. This isn't running at all. This is the wrong station. With current mining prod, 175 is exactly what we need. Accepting some loss if we start one lower is probably fine. It might be fine. I guess it really I guess the real question is, which do I care about having it perform better during the early phase or the later phase? Also, we really should I really should increase the number of inserters I have. Just slightly, but I can add extra inserters to these. I can make the outpost more expensive and use red belt. It would technically balance faster that way, but I don't think that's a problem. Honestly, I think the inserter count we have is fine. Oh, I was wondering why I couldn't clear that. I think they can unload faster if there's nothing coming from the other side. Oh, wait. If we increased it, it would be later. What are those boxes without the top? I don't know what you're talking about. What are those? Oh, these? So that is telling you the belt is on circuit logic. It reads from it stops the belt if there's too much fuel backed up in these chests. So we have that here. So these stop the belt if there's too much fuel. These stop the belt if we accidentally send the wrong ore through. So if we send iron through this, or stone. Okay, that took longer to get through than I thought it would. Okay, there we go. The alarm's not going off, but you can see it halted the entire belt. That makes it that I can't connect them wrong. I mean, I can connect them wrong, but it doesn't cause my base to be destroyed. And now all of the stone is going through, and now the whole thing's stalled. But yeah, it prevents critical errors from destroying your base. You've used circuits before, but never with belts. It's really, performance-wise, doing it with belts, I think, is really bad. Just because the amount of belts you have to click on is a lot, and like every entity you connect is rough. You want halt there, a whole 2 wagons. Don't get stopped. You went halt there, a whole 2 wagons don't get stopped. Oh, this doesn't have the updated. This isn't the full outpost. I see what you mean. Our actual outpost have something here as well. So we stop here. This is just the. This just happens to be the only one that I had on my blueprint book when I started doing testing. So this one has a couple outdated changes. But yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with this now. Inserters seem to be pretty safe now that they each read from their own fuel belt. And the cost is a little bit higher than the other outpost, but it's like 20 rails, 20 undergrounds, so it doesn't make or break the run. This somehow is missing drills? I... What? Oh. Yes, it is. I was like, wait a minute. 57, that's not right. There we go. 348, that's also not right, is it? 75, no, never mind, that's right. That's right, 23 and 25, because there's a roboboard there. You tried speedrunning 100% after seeing your streams and it took you 5 hours to get to the train. Oh, for like dot lap and stuff? Let's see, where you'd stop is right on the outpost into the base. What, you mean like earlier, like right here? For all of them? No, we can't do it there. Or do you mean here? If you mean right here, this does not look like this for any of the trains. So right here doesn't actually work because most of our base connections do not look like this. We have a lot of undergrounds, so we can't really stop them there, so we stop them earlier. Because this part is uniform between each outpost, this part isn't. But yeah, Gotlap is tough if you aren't prepared for it and don't know how to do Lazy Bastard. Like, it's just a lot different. And it turns out when you don't have like good pathing or like don't know how to where everything is, trying to handcraft things by throwing assembling machines down is tedious. I have no idea why that's not powered. Oh, right, because it's technically the other base. And we just use the big electric ones. Okay, so I think I'm pretty happy with that rebalance. It's not too shabby overall. It honestly isn't as large as I thought. There probably is some stuff we can do to compact it a little bit more, but like realistically, does it really make a difference if my outpost looks like this with nothing near it, or if it looks like the other one with nothing near it? I think we still need to fix copper. Let's see, where would our base be? Okay, so copper that we would realistically grab. See, it's situations like this where even then we can make this work. Yeah, I mean we were gonna test it like Sunday anyway. But we definitely got it done earlier. I also now have less trust in any blueprints involving trains. Ever. Just in general, no longer trust trains. There is a world where we shouldn't connect any of these with trains, and that's the optimal decision. And I think that world is this one, but we're just gonna ignore that. Like the optimal build order is probably to connect every single train with a large series of red belts, and then just have a building train next to the outpost. But that can be in the revision. The whole reason of using trains is it means I only have one connection point that I can manually fail. But the downside of trains is they're god awful. Don't with burners. Like this is a 6 wagon long train. By the for anyone wondering, this is 6 wagons long, and we're struggling to get four. Struggling to get 4 belts out of that. Like that is not a lot. That is not a lot to get out of 2 6-wagon trains because you can get that out of 1 4-long train with electric inserters, like really easily. It takes up like a third of the space. Okay, so we need to fix all of this real quick, and then we'll call it good. So yeah, this is where we stop them in our actual outposts. Now, this was causing a lot of problems. The ideal scenario is belting. The other anti's new base forces training everything so that he doesn't have to care at all about distances. I don't think the ideal scenario is always belting. It's just for burners. Like, the ideal scenario is having every patch be close, I guess. But since that's not really likely to happen with, like, 15 patches, there's almost always going to be used for trains. Except with burners, going out, like, 5,000 tiles, a belt of, like, 5,000 undergrounds probably isn't the worst idea. Okay, but yeah, I think this should read from the chest. Oh, that's bad for performance, though. What if I just lower the threshold to be like half a belt, maybe? Maybe that's the problem. Because the issue is this does back up. It 100% backs up. Do I have enough inserters? I think I have enough inserters. There's going to be a brief moment where nothing runs at full speed until we get stack size 3, but that's okay. We're expecting that. So reading from the chest is nice. I don't think it's great for performance, but it works so well. It does work really well. I feel like I have to go with the one that I know works and not the one that I've seen break multiple times, right? Like, there isn't much of a question. Feel like figuring out an overflow output. Could you elaborate on that? Like, where do you want the output to go? Do you want it to, like, loop back around the base and reconnect here or something? Are there any free belts anywhere? No. If we could connect it to here with a priority, that would be nice. We only realistically need one of these belts to connect, right? So we really just need to find one belt in this entire thing that would work. So we can keep those being red. Let's look at our outposts. Let's see if there's any like anything that would break the corner. I mean, these are manually built anyway, so it's not a huge deal. These look pretty samey around that edge. All right, we already knew that's going to happen. I guess the issue, we would have to take it from the deprioritized side, right? Actually, no, we wouldn't, right? We need to take from a side that isn't connected to here. That's the problem. So we would need a splitter, and we would actually need to add something here. Yeah, okay, never mind. I see it. The idea I had wouldn't work. Because it could loop this stuff around, which would be bad. It kind of defeats the purpose. We could have an overflow output that only runs if fuel is on this belt, then it's not looping as much. From left side, top looks nicer due to being at the end of the belt, but bottom's probably nicer for getting back into the base. Yeah, we just need a splitter. The issue is there isn't really a good spot to like sideload fuel onto any of these. Like we just have to add we have to add a splitter everywhere, which I don't know. That might work. It's a little bit manual, but it is something that can be done. So we would have to add one here. So it would add 9 splitters plus the ones at the base. The real issue is where do we split from it? So if we do a splitter like that, we only want the belt activated if this is backed up. So it would have the same logic as this. Get a burner inserter to feed the burner inserter feeding fuel. Are you talking about the one that's burned out because it's grabbing from a corner? I thought about it. Then we decided we didn't actually need it to run. Oh, but if any of these die, the logic doesn't work. Yeah, okay, so what if we just have a belt, like, here? And then deactivates if these are greater than 13. Actually, no, let's not even do 13. Let's do like 8. No, 13's fine. No, it's not. 8. So yeah, we'll do 7. That way 2 halves backed up. So this only runs if these are backed up. These never run in general. So we would remove this logic entirely, right? (106) fuel overflow. Oh, well, we'll have to figure this out another time. I have somewhere to be. Got a birthday party to go to. Thanks for that. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry it was an earlier stream. We'll have our normal time tomorrow. We should have our normal time tomorrow. I'll think about this overnight. Like I think it's a great idea. Either having a belt overflow or just a larger buffer in the beginning. But not enough time to figure it out now, so I'll think about it. But I am much happier with our outposts in general. The loading part of them is much nicer. So have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.